Hello students, welcome to our today's science lesson. In this video, we will learn about the female reproductive system. We will cover the parts of the female reproductive system, that is the ovaries, the fallopian tube also known as the oviduct, the uterus, the cervix and the vagina. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to know where each of these parts are located in the female reproductive system and their functions. So the female reproductive system is made up of the following parts. Kindly note the location of each of these parts. The ovary, the oviduct, also known as the fallopian tube, the uterus, the cervix, and the vagina. Let's get started to know the functions of each of these parts. Let's get started with the ovary. Ovary, this one, it produces the female sex cells known as the ova. So the ovary, it is egg-like in structure. So its function, it is to produce the eggs. These eggs are the female sex cells. They are known as the ova in plural. In singular, it is known as the ovum. Ova in plural and the ovum in singular. The other part, it is the fallopian tube, also known as the oviduct. So this one, it is a tube-like structure which enables ovum to move from the ovary to the uterus. Remember, we said the ovum is produced at the ovary and therefore it moves from the ovary to the uterus. But before it gets to the uterus, in case there is sexual intercourse and sperms are deposited, fertilization will take place. So that means the fallopian tube, also known as the oviduct, it allows room, or it is where fertilization takes place in the female reproductive system. The third part, it is the uterus. Uterus is also known as the womb. This one, it provides attachment of fertilized egg. So remember, we said the egg is produced at the ovary, and then it moves to the oviduct. This is where fertilization takes place in case there is sexual intercourse. And then after the egg is fertilized, it is attached at the uterus. The function of the uterus, it is to provide a room for the development of the fetus. Remember, after the egg is fertilized, it gets attached at the uterus and then it develops into zygote, embryo, fetus, then baby. It develops at the uterus. The other part, it is the cervix. Cervix, this one, it is a sheet of strong muscles located just below the uterus. It separates the vagina and the uterus, and its function is that it provides passage of sperms into the uterus. Sperms are deposited at the vagina and then they are passed through the cervix into the uterus. The cervix also opens up to allow baby out during pregnancy, that is during childbirth. The last part is the vagina. The vagina is also known as the birth canal. It is the passage that connects cervix to the outside part of the body. What is its function? This is where sperms are deposited during sexual intercourse. Remember, sexual intercourse, it is where the female part meets with the male part, and therefore it means the female gametes meet with the male gametes. That means the vagina meets up with the penis. So the sperms are deposited at the vagina. So the sperms are the male sex cells. The vagina also opens up to allow baby to get out during childbirth. So I hope you have understood the location of each of these parts and their function. So let us look at some of the questions. Question 1. Which organ produces eggs? Question 2. Where does fertilization take place? And question 3. What is the function of the uterus? You can pause this video and try to answer the questions. Question 1. Which organ produces eggs? If you said ovary, then well done. It is the ovary that produces the eggs. The eggs are the female sex cells known as the ovary, known as the ova of the ovum in singular. And fertilization takes place at the oviduct or the fallopian tube. And the function of the uterus is to provide room for the development of the baby. Let us look at this question. Name the labeled parts. Parts A, B, C, D, and E. You can pause the video and take a minute to try. Well, the correct answer of part A is the oviduct, that is where fertilization takes place. Part B, it is the uterus, which it provides room for the development of the baby, and it's also where there is attachment of the fertilized egg. Part 3, it is the vagina. Vagina, it is where the sperms are deposited. The other part D, it is the cervix, that is the passage of sperms from the vagina to the uterus. And part E was the ovary. So the ovary, it is what produces the female sex cells, also known as the eggs or the ova. That's all about our today's lesson. In today's lesson, we learned about the parts of the female reproductive system, where they are located and their functions. Thank you for today's lesson. Have a nice time.